Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Shamika and this is Check the Rhymes. I am super excited that you're here. As always, thank you so much for tuning in. Y'all, I am so hyped about today's interview. One, because I just watched the Grammys salute to 50 years of hip hop. Did y'all catch that? And my guest today was on there. She's a part of Arrested Development, y'all. Yes, Eshe is in the building. It's been a while since I've caught up with her. I met her years ago in Atlanta and actually interviewed her for soultrain.com way back when. So I'm excited to catch up and find out what she's up to and more. So stay tuned. You don't want to miss today's show. Welcome to Check the Rhymes, Eshe. I'm so glad you're here.
Me too. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited. Thank you.
When I was watching the Grammys salute to, 50 years of hip hop, I was like, now I know I seen Eshe tweet about this. Let me make sure I am awake and watching.
Yes. It was so awesome. Watching it back, on the other side. It was awesome.
Yeah. So what was that like when they reached out? Were you guys kind of like just honored to even be thought about for this program?
Completely. I was just honored and excited all at the same time because we really didn't know the whole full extent of it, who all was going to be there and how it was going to be and just all that kind of stuff. So we didn't know. So I was excited just to be going, and I was able to take my daughter with me. So that was even better. Yeah. And it was, as soon as we stepped out the plane, it was just pure fun. Yeah. So it was awesome. I think the whole show from top to bottom was just excellent.
It was. I had gone to relaxation yoga, so I was half asleep, and then I was like, as soon as I heard the music, I was like, I'm up.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it was awesome. Like I was jamming. I was like, yeah, this is awesome. So yeah, it was great. It was great.
Yeah. So I saw all the tweets about Arrested Development and how much people love you guys. That had to feel good, right?
Yes, it did. It's crazy because, I said in the last 10 years, I've had 2 medical surgeries. Mm-hmm. So my body has gone through a lot of challenges here lately, especially last year. I was battling breast cancer. Mm-hmm. And so from that treatment, my body's just been like all over the place like that. Yeah. And so, for me, it was bigger than just a performance because last year, this time I was really struggling in a lot of ways, you know what I mean? And I'm still not 100%. Mm-hmm. And truth be told, I was in some pain while performing, but I'm a true performer at heart. So yeah. I always push through it and like, just kind of mind over matter. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I'm just so grateful to God that I was just able to do it, because if this had been a year ago, it would have been a different story. So I'm just so grateful and, honored and to see people enjoy the show. Yeah, that just made me feel even better. And I'm just like, wow, it's so awesome. And it, I think just being that everybody looks so good and, it's just a beautiful place. Everybody is, in a different season of, their lives, our lives, and just embracing the season, but still honoring what we've done in the past. Do you get what I mean? Yeah. So, everybody just looked great. So that's inspiring to me, to see my peers looking good and thriving.
Yeah, I saw a lot of people saying, y'all been drinking y'all's water. Everybody look good.
Right. Right. And minding our business.
Right. That part.
Yes, definitely. It was awesome. So awesome.
Yeah. So I want to go back to, because for a lot of people that, these, what are they called? Gen Zs that may not have known, because, I'm going to be honest, some of the newer artists that were up there performing, like the one, I think her name is Coyle Ray or some, I probably got it all jacked up. I thought Busta Rhymes was coming out. I done got off the couch and I was like, wait, that ain't him.
Yeah. But I loved how they kind of did a mix of the new artists and the old school artists, and it just was a beautiful mesh. You know what I mean? So she has a lot of energy. She's a little bitty tiny thing too.
Yeah, she is. But then I was like, so cute. I know this song. I did know the song once she started. I was like, I've heard it.
Yeah, she's a little cutie and she can dance. So but she's so little. But yeah, I think they did a beautiful mix of just putting the old school and new school together. It was awesome. Like I literally was like this the whole night. Just silent.
Well, for the Gen Zers and probably some of the, I guess, would it be the older millennials or younger millennials? I don't remember how that goes. But anyway, for the people that may not know the history of Arrested Development, can you talk about how you got involved in the group? Because you started young.
I was really, really young. So prior to getting in Arrested Development, I started, well, my mom, first of all, let me take you back. Okay. So my mom was one of the first Black-owned dance schools in the state of Georgia, right? Oh. And so she taught CeeLo Green. She taught a lot of people, athletes, all these kind of people. It was just a variety of people, right? And she was my first instructor. So my mom taught me how to dance when I was 2 years old. And I'm trained in ballet, tap, jazz, point, a whole bunch of other stuff, just everything, baton, twirling, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. And so I grew up in the arts, always performing on stage and all that kind of stuff. So my mom taught me everything. So at 11, we would do shows around town as a dance school, but at 11, I started dancing behind local artists. So one of the local artists here in Atlanta that I danced behind was Sammy Sam the Hitman, and just some other people. And then when I turned 13, Ian Burke, who's responsible for TLC being discovered, Arrested Development, so many people escaped. Ian is a staple, if you will. Right. He and my sister are really good friends. And so he asked her, hey, you want to go audition for this group called Arrested Development? And my sister was like, no, I don't really want to do that. But my little sister can, and she does African dance. Because at the time, my sister was dancing for Pebbles and James Brown and all these people.
Oh, and y'all just talented around there.
Oh, So I mean, I come from a family of performers and dancers, like cousins and everybody. So anyway, then that's what happened. She took me to the audition, and I was 13 years old. I remember with a hat on and everything. And I auditioned for speech and headliner. They were at the Arts Institute of Atlanta, and I was in the 8th grade at Southwest Middle School here in Atlanta, Georgia. Wow. It's called Young Middle School now. And I auditioned, and that's exactly how it happened. And then we started touring the world. Well, we were looking for a record deal for 3 years, 5 months, 2 days in the life of, which is the name of our first album. And when we came out with Tennessee, I was 16. It was in 1991. And then my birthday is December 23rd, and then I turned 17. So yeah, I was a teenager during the whole process.
Wow. When that song Tennessee came out, so of course, 91, I was listening to it, but when I actually decided to go to college in Tennessee, I think I wore that song out even more, but just because I'm like, Tennessee.
Tennessee, yeah. And a lot of people, it's so funny, they say, oh, we thought you guys were from Tennessee, so yeah.
Honestly, I might have thought that too, because we didn't have social media back then, so I might have.
I think everybody did. Yeah, Speech's grandma was from there, and he used to spend a lot of time there during the summer, and that's where he came up with the song, because his brother and grandma died in the same week of each other.
Oh goodness!
And so it was more of a prayer. That's what the song. He starts out, Lord,
Yeah.
So that whole thing. But yeah, that was the last song we recorded for the album. Yeah.
Wow.
The last song and the first single. And that's something. Yeah. Yeah. It was a buzz clip on MTV, and that's what really blew it up. And then college radio supporting us, and community radio, and just people in the community. And we were just doing a lot of Chitlin circuit gigs and stuff like that. And so then we did Jack the Rappers here in Atlanta. That was a big music conference back in the day. And that blew up. So everything was just beautiful. You know what I mean?
Were you on Soul Train?
Yeah, we were. We were on Soul Train with Don. Yep. I always wanted to be a Soul Train dancer too, so I was like,
you did both. And actually, the last time we talked, so I think I met you at it was a Soul Train event in Atlanta, but then I actually didn't interview you. So I was
Yes.
writing for Soul Train.
Isn't that something?
Yes.
And you did an awesome job.
Thank you. And I pulled that interview back up because, of course, none of the stuff is on the site anymore since the site doesn't exist. But I still have the interview. And so I was like, yes, I can read it.
Ain't that something?
Right. 2014. This don't make no sense. I haven't talked to you since.
Yes, that's crazy.
Wait, no, I saw you with Black Music Honors.
Yeah.
2019.
That was fun. Yeah. But a lot has happened since the first interview.
I'm gonna have to look back at my phone. I'm like, did we take a picture? I don't remember.
Yeah, if you did, please send it to me.
I'll have to look.
Yes.
So when I look back at that interview, at that time, we were talking about your single, So Gone. So have you recorded any new music since then?
In the studio now, I'm doing it's interesting that you bring that up. So I have done a lot of music since I left the group, right? I wanted to kind of explore my musical waters, if you will, and I did a lot of stuff that people wouldn't probably expect me to do because I love R&B music, right? And so I did a lot more R&B records and things of that nature, which I truly enjoyed. And I think I was just experimenting and searching, and that's what artists do, right? Yeah. So after the pandemic and, my mom died in 2015, a lot of things have happened in my life since we last spoke a lot. And so after the pandemic and everything that's happened, I decided to go back in the studio and do the type of music that speaks to me now that I really want to do. I feel like I finally found my sound and who I am, in music, because coming from a successful group like Arrested Development, and when you go solo, it is very hard sometimes to find your lane because people just automatically assume that your music is going to sound like that. Exactly. You know what I mean? Because that's where they know you from, right? And so they're like, oh, it's going to be this, Afrocentric or whatever, just Right. It's just like people put you in a box a lot of times. So for me, I always wanted to explore and do something different. So I'm actually doing a song. I actually go back in the studio on Wednesday, and I've been working on this song. It's called Free. And Raza Dunn, original member from Arrested Development, he's also featured on it, and it's awesome. It's a global, very global sounding. Because I'm a global artist, because I love traveling the world, and I have fans in Japan and Africa and all over in Europe, and I want to reach those people, so I like global sounds. I always encourage people, like, America is not the only place. You got to get outside the United States. You know what I mean? Right. We love the United States and the people that support here, but I want to reach, I know my purpose. I know what God told me to do in my music, in my art. And it's to spread light throughout the world. And that's what I'm going to do. So, in my dance and my song, my songwriting, whatever I do, but I've gotten deep into acting. I also have been shooting a documentary since the top of this year about my life. Because a lot of people don't know a lot about me. They just know, oh, she's the girl who danced in Arrested Development, but they don't really know, like, the meat and potatoes of who I am. So I'm excited about it. It looks amazing, and I've been working on it. So yeah. Oh, I can't
wait. Where will we be able to see it, or do you know yet if it'll?
Well, we haven't right now. It's a couple of different places. We're going to shop it to different places, from Amazon Prime to Hulu. And I definitely want to be able to offer it to people from my own personal website. You know what I mean? Yeah. But yeah, I think people are going to be very, very, very shocked at a lot of the things that I am sharing. And I feel like shocked in a way, like, wow, I didn't know she was going through that, and she still kept going in that sense. So it inspires. And I'm also writing a book. And I had started writing a book years ago, and it just didn't, when my mother was alive, it didn't feel like I had lived enough life. Even though I started this business young, and I feel, like I probably have lived the life of an 80-year-old already, but in the sense of the experiences and just
Yeah,
being all
yeah.
around the world and different things. But it was just something. And then my mother died, and I
Mhm.
lost like maybe 23 people in the span of 2012 to about 2016, 17, 18.
Oh goodness.
It was a lot of people.
Yeah,
So, and then Bob J passed away, the elder
yeah.
from Arrested Development.
Mhm.
And then it's just been a lot of,
Mhm.
of that. And so, these last few years, I've just been taking a lot of time in developing other artists, also pouring into myself, healing,
Mhm.
grieving, doing all the things that I
Mhm.
need to do, still dancing, still being creative, because I don't post everything I'm doing on social
Yeah.
media. And then I also have been raising my daughter. She graduated from high school. It's going to be 3 years next year.
Oh
And she's
wow.
been modeling and doing her thing. She's 20 now. So, I've been managing her for years
Mhm.
because she's been modeling professionally now for 9 years. So I have her and
Go
the
ahead,
artist and Bobby.
daughter.
Yeah. So yeah. And I train a lot of people and stuff like so. I do a lot of that behind the scenes
Mhm.
and pouring into other people. And then I had to learn how to pour into myself.
Well,
You know what I
can you
mean?
speak on that? Because that's something I noticed. I've seen it a lot the past couple of days on social media where people
Yeah.
are asking, how do you pour into yourself when you're going through a lot? Because I'm in that grief journey that I give,
Mm-hmm.
give, but it burns you out after a while because sometimes you may not be
Uh,
receiving, but it's like, oh, I
yes.
got to give it to myself.
Yes, yes, yes. So I think with everybody is different. You have to just find your whatever it is that does it for you.
Yeah.
For me, I pick positive things that are healthy.
Yeah.
So like I love going to the spa, like getting like detox treatments, like a body scrub or a facial or sitting in the infrared sauna or,
Yeah.
things of that nature where I'm loving on my body because
Mhm.
as I said early in the interview, my body
Yeah.
has been through a lot in these
Yeah.
last few years. And this is how I make my artist through my body, my hands, my arms with dance and my voice and all that.
Right.
So in movement and my feet and everything. So when my body's in pain, I'm out
Mhm.
of whack.
Yeah.
I go to the chiropractor. I believe in getting massages and I do
Yes.
all of
Amen.
that. Um, I do holistic things like taking herbs and things of that nature, just constantly finding ways to cleanse my
Mhm.
body.
Yeah.
Also, I like to walk and I like to exercise. Um, like during the pandemic, I lost over 50 pounds,
I
right?
was gonna say you look amazing, by the
Yeah, thank
way.
you so much. I appreciate you. But then when I got diagnosed with breast cancer, the trauma from that
Yeah.
caused me to gain weight
Mhm.
again. And I didn't change my eating habits, nothing, because I eat very clean, but it was the trauma from everything that was going
Yeah.
on. And then because it's really a lot mental too,
Yeah.
when you're going through that.
Hmm.
And so my body is just like, then when I had surgery, when things are removed out of your body is not supposed to be cut on. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, I had a hysterectomy last year, so I get
So
it. I'm
you know
still
what I'm
healing.
talking about. Yeah, and the older you get, you know what I mean? It's
Yep.
it's it's harder, right?
Yeah.
And so because I'm 48, I'll be 49. So then you're in that space of
Hmm.
menopause or premenopausal and all that.
Right.
So it's like your body is constantly changing. So I'm always just trying to find ways to heal my body because when your mind and your body and everything, your spirit, everything is in sync, it just makes life a whole lot better. You know what I
Yes.
mean? And I get out in nature. I like to put my feet in the grass, do grounding. I
Hmm.
like to do that.
Hmm.
Yeah, I just like to smell fresh air.
Yes. Yes.
So yeah, I just think for me, it's pouring back into yourself about taking care of yourself. You
That's
know what I
yeah.
mean? Because
That's good.
being a mom, a business owner, whatever you're doing, everything, entrepreneur or working a regular job, whatever you do, having a husband, boo, it's a lot. You know what I
It's a
mean?
lot.
Taking
Yes.
care of elderly parents, as I'm doing right now,
Hmm.
my dad is ill. So
Hmm.
my sister and I have been taking care of him, and that's been a whole lot.
Yeah.
with him having a stroke and all the things that happened. But in the midst of that, I still keep smiling and I keep pushing on, and I also feed myself. I read the word and I listen to a lot of sermons and self-help and positive, affirmations.
Yes.
So I'm always, you are abundant, you are blessed, you are healed, your family's here,
Yes, I was just listening to some affirmations before we started, honestly.
Yes, I love it. We have to do that, you know what I mean? We have to do that because there's so much going on in the world. Oh my God, and then I don't own the television either. So I try to stay away from negative stuff. Yeah.
That'll do it too. That'll help.
Yes, definitely.
So you mentioned that you do a lot of different things, and I was always curious as to what influences your creativity, because I don't think that's something we talked about back then.
That's a great question. I want to say my mom was a huge influence on me. But I just think the world, just the environment around me is you can pull inspiration and from all kinds of things. And then I love people like Tina Turner, Al Green, Donny Hathaway, Michael Jackson, Prince, I love even some of the newer artists. I like her, Jasmine Sullivan, and I just look around me in the creative spaces. I mean, whether it be in a dance space, a musical space, and just pull inspiration. I just think it's innate. It's who I am. So, according to my mom, I came out the womb dancing. So, it's like, it's just in me, so I'm just inspired by life, and especially in this stage of my life where I'm at now, just the fact that I'm able to sit here with your beautiful self and talk to you is inspiration for me to say, you know what, you got to keep going. Even seeing myself on TV last night, I was like, you got to keep going. You got to keep pushing, because I've never been a quitter, never been a person to stop. So I was like, I still got a whole lot to say. So let me pull inspiration from that and keep moving.
I love that. I love that. And I was going to say, every time I've seen you, you're always smiling all the time. So, and as Johnny Simpson told me, keep smiling. We need that.
Yes, I love it. I love it. Thank you so much.
So I was curious though, about your thoughts on, because a lot of the tweets last night that I saw, or are they called X's, since it's called X and not Twitter?
I'm still calling them tweets.
Me too. So a lot of the tweets were saying that they felt like there was a disconnect these days, not necessarily the artists that were performing last night, but just in general with where hip hop was when we were growing up, and where hip hop is now. I think that disconnect happened because it's like, we used to listen to like the conscious rap, and there was a message in the rap. And now it's like, I don't even know the lyrics to some of these songs, but
it's like, so I want to say it is some great new artists that are coming up. I think it doesn't have a balance in the mainstream. I think it's one type of hip hop is pushed a lot versus it being very diverse. You know what I mean? Like how it was when we were coming up. We had a lot of diversity, right? So I would say, I think number one, the disconnect is people don't believe in artist development anymore.
That part. That immediate training.
Right. So what they do is they don't do artist development. They don't do media training, nor do a lot of them care to want to do it. They don't even care because they feel like, oh, I got a large social media following and that's all I need. But what's happening a lot of times is that you may have 1 million followers on social media, but it doesn't translate live.
Exactly.
So you got to be able to hold somebody's attention for an hour and 30 minutes. Most of the time when you're a new artist, you're going to get maybe it can be 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15. then it goes to 30, then it goes to 45, then it goes to an hour. So you have to be able to be captivating for that amount of time.
Yeah.
And social media is so, most things are 30 seconds, 60 seconds. And so you're literally getting all this in 60 seconds.
Yeah.
So I just think that people are not, social media is a blessing and a curse.
Right.
Because it's been a blessing to me, but at the same time, I see where it could be a bad thing as well. Because if you're too dependent on that, or you're like, oh, well, I don't have enough followers, just because I know a lot of people that have a lot of followers, but they may not be supporting you. You know, when you put a record out or go do a show, they're not buying tickets, they're not supporting. They're just following you on social media. You get what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So sometimes that doesn't equate to money. So I think that we just have to I think we could take some of the old and mix it with the new. I don't think we should throw the old all the way or the new all the way.
Right.
I think it needs to be a beautiful balance of both. And get back into artist development, man, because last night what you saw out of all those hip hop artists was artist development. Yeah. You know, especially the old school, because that was how we had to do it. If you weren't developed, you wasn't getting on nobody's stage.
Right. I remember I saw people saying they were amazed at even Big Daddy Kane. The control and the dancing still, and he's I'm like artist development.
Artist development. And then breath control, having vocal training, even as rappers or MCs or whatever, singers, dancers. I encourage people who dance and sing, go get vocal lessons, learn how to have breath control on stage, things of that nature, and know how to entertain without dancers, without all the hoopla, that you can still get out there and rock it. And T.I. to me is a great example of that. He can hold a crowd because he's just very animated in the way he moves and how he came through the crowd last night. And it's so many great artists out here because of the development. Yeah. And when a lot of the record labels get away with that because of the money it takes to do that, that's where they failed. And then you have a lot of artists now, it's a beautiful thing that now the power is put back in the artist's hands where they can put their own music out and things of that nature. But a lot of them are so green to the business, they don't know. They may have a song to blow up overnight. Oh, I need to do some artist development, or I need this, and they don't know. So, I think it's a lack of knowledge too. And then just people not wanting to do it, because I work with artists and after 2 hours, they're like, "Ooh, I'm tired." I'm like, "What?" We used to practice 8 hours a day. Yeah. That was what it was. And I still practice today. Even me, having won Grammys, all the things I've done, I still practice, because I want to be great. Yeah. And excellent. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You have to practice your craft. Even there's always room for, I think, improvement. And I always think about, especially after watching the Michael Jackson's the Thriller 40 documentary.
That I haven't seen it.
Oh, well, even I took a screenshot of one of the affirmations because I was like, this man said this to himself every day. He just knew he had to just keep getting better and better and better and better.
Yes, listen, Michael Jackson was everything. He was one of my inspirations. And I can't wait to see it. I said I gotta watch it.
Yes. You could be like me, just get Showtime for a day.
I'm gonna watch that. I sure am. I love it.
So one of the things about, because I know a lot of times, I prefer just to talk to the older artists because that's what I grew up on, and just, I'm more familiar with their stories and stuff. But some people are like, why don't you interview younger artists? And I'm like, because they don't have media training, and my nerves at this age are bad.
Your nerves bad? Oh my goodness. I love it.
And that's that. It's like, I don't have the patience.
Right. I understand. Listen, I understand. Your target audience.
Right, exactly. I'm sticking with the Gen Xers.
Yeah, I get it.
So what else are you working on that we can look forward to? And will we ever get any more Arrested Development music at all? Ever?
So let me let me say, well, first of all, I have a lot of things coming up. Some stuff I can't talk about right now, but like
You
I
can
said, I
come
do have
back.
the
You can come
documentary.
back.
Yes, I see that. I got documentary music. I really want to do, a lot of people have been asking me to do like a dance tour so I can go around to different places and teach like class, because I love inspiring other women in our age group,
Yes.
or younger, especially people who've been through like cancer or any type of battle with their bodies, to let them know you can still do it and dance and move even after trauma
Yeah.
or something happening or whatever. So, just I want to do that. That's something I'm really looking into, because last night so many people texted me, was like, okay, when is the adult dance class?
Right.
Hello.
Because I was thinking that too. Like, I want to take a dance class.
So I'm gonna have to stop in your neck of the woods, okay?
Come on, I got my new brace right here. I'm ready.
I love it. So yeah, I really want to do that. And just kind of travel and just keep inspiring people, writing books. And like I said, I manage my daughter. She's been doing so much stuff. She actually just did an audition for Hulu. And so, and she's done Nike, and she's done a lot of things. She's done some Chick-fil-A stuff, all kinds of stuff. So I'm managing her. She keeps me busy. And then I also have an artist named Bobby that I manage, and she'll be releasing some new music. And I write songs for other people and for myself. And I'm just a creative direction. I do that a lot. Consulting, all those things are what I love to do, because I love to help people, especially get into this business. I don't want people to come into this business blind and naive and get taken advantage of, because trust me, I know what that feels like. So yeah, and as far as Arrested Development, so Rosa Dunn, original member, and myself, we actually did some songs with Speech that will be on their new album, Bullets in the Chamber. However, I don't tour regularly with the group anymore. I stopped touring like in 2012. So he has a new lineup, and Speech is the only original member that's there now. I do special shows like what happened last night. And but again, I'm ready to get on the road and start doing some of my own music, and and continuing expressing my art in the Eshe Light way.
Yes, love it. I love it.
Yes. But check out the new AD album. It'll be dropping soon. And they just released a single with Chuck D. And so, yeah, it should be cool. And the song I'm on is Arrogance and Overachiever. So, yeah.
So when can we expect your music to come out?
Well, I'm finishing up now. So it'll be look at my AirPods keep saying they're going about to die. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
But I was saying 2024. Yeah, so that's what I'm working on now. I'm working with a production team called Hot Hitters. They've been longtime friends. I love them dearly. So yeah, we've been working. So we've been doing that for a while, and I'm gonna put something out next year.
I can't wait, and you'll have to come back to Check the Rhymes and talk all about it. And when you get up this way with the tour, I'm there front. Well, I'll probably be standing in the back.
Yes.
But
where are you located now?
I'm still in North Carolina.
North Carolina. Okay, yeah, North Kakalaki. I haven't been there in a minute. So yes,
I need to come. Road.
Yes, I love it. That's awesome. Well, I will let you know, because I honestly, maybe you can help me with that, because I would love to know some people. There's some dance studios. So I don't really know anybody in that area.
Oh, absolutely.
So cool.
Yes, we have to definitely keep in touch for sure.
Yes. And thank you so much for having me today. I really appreciate you.
No, thank you for coming. And I'm still testing out this tagline of mine, because it needs a little work, but you've been officially checked by the rhymes.
I love it.
So Will Downing told me I need to let the artist say it. So if you could just say you've been, so you say it, that I've been officially checked by the rhymes.
Yes. That I have, or you?
You.
Okay. Okay. This is Eshe Light, and you have officially been checked by the rhymes. Thank y'all so much to all the viewers and supporters. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all.
Thank you so much.